Hi, I'm Abel Thomas, and in the next 6 minutes, I'm going to give you the startling reason why everything you need to gain complete energy independence is sitting in your trash can, your backyard, and even your kitchen cabinets. Show you how you could slash your electricity bill by 80% or more starting today by using an unconventional but highly effective power generating method that people in Vietnam, Korea, and the Philippines have been exploiting for over 200 years to keep their homes lit and their food cooked, even though they live on less than $1.50 per day. Without having to invest in fancy solar panels that cost more than $5,000 to install, or do-it-yourself solar kits that don't actually work, or having to rely on gas-guzzling generators that costs hundreds or even thousands a week to run, and gas isn't going to get magically cheaper. And keeping your family safe during any sort of disaster or crisis, whether it's as minor as a brief blackout or as nightmarish as a total grid collapse. All you have to do is follow the steps I'm about to give you in this brief but crucial video. You'll join over 78,000 thrilled Americans I've already helped, and you'll experience the same heart-racing rush they did when you're tearing open your power bill with childish glee each month, throwing aside the envelope and holding up the latest check that the power company had no choice but to send you because you are feeding excess energy back into the grid. In truth, it's almost an uncomfortable feeling at first. Over the course of several decades, you've been conditioned to send in hundreds of dollars every single month to these energy fat cats. And when suddenly you're ripping open that monthly statement and finding a check printed, signed, and immediately cashable under your name from some faceless energy monopoly, it can feel a little strange. But trust me, any feelings of guilt disappear quickly. The technology you're about to discover is your God-given right, 1,000 times more ethical than the constantly inflated rates that the electricity mafia is trying to force down your throat. In fact, you'll have enough energy to power your entire home using nothing but simple items already found in and around your home right now. I know your curiosity is piqued, and it should be. You've never seen anything like this before, and in 5 minutes from now, you'll be furious about the fact that you ever gave Big Electric a single red cent. So let's get to it. First, though, let me tell you who I am and why I know the secret to getting completely off the grid. Now, as I mentioned before, my name is Abel Thomas, and my friends just call me Abe. I'm a fifth-generation farmer here in Burlington, Iowa. Over the past 3.5 years, I've devoted virtually every free moment of my time, except for when I go to church on Sunday mornings, to helping 78,415 honest, hardworking, and liberty-loving Americans just like you break free from the long tentacles of big electricity and discover how to create your own power through a generator that takes less than 4 hours to build, even if you can't tell the top of a hammer from the bottom, and which can be kept fueled for absolutely $0. Using the same simple method I'm going to reveal to you later in this video, Derek Webb of Canton, Ohio, recently sent me a letter saying, in the first 30 days, my power bill went from $275 per month to $87. That's nearly $200, and it's impossible to overstate how this much savings has made things easier for my family. And Gino Danelli of Staten Island, New York, writes, I live in a crowded neighborhood, and you should have seen how the neighbors stared at me when I opened my first electric bill since using your method. I was literally cacking like the Wicked Witch of the West out there. But I don't care. The joke's on them because that bill was for $3.16. Derek and Gino are just two of the thousands of people who have written me over the last year, telling me how thrilled, elated, and even sometimes flabbergasted they are by the simple truth of how easy it is to make your own power, shutting the door in the face of greedy corporations and keeping their families warm and protected. I'll tell you everything in just a moment. But before I get to that, let me just explain why I am so passionately invested in helping you to get off the grid and keep your home, your family, and your freedom protected from the evil electric mafia. It all started when my 5-year-old son looked me directly in the eyes and said,
Daddy, I don't want to lose our farm.
Now, I've often been accused of having the gift of gab, but when I heard these words and saw his big, brown, innocent eyes staring up at me for once in my life, I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to lose the farm either. It has been a source of food, comfort, and financial security passed down through my family from father to son for 5 whole generations. A throwback to the better, simpler days of America, where a man could grow what he needed, sell the rest for an honest profit, and keep a roof over his family and clothes on his children's back. But things have been changing. Did you know that in 1901, 42% of Americans lived on farms? Today, the number is less than 1%. Companies like Monsanto and Cargill have staked claim to almost all the farmland in the U.S. and either bought out or forced out the families who inhabit them. To kill the American farmer, they move into new areas, operate at a loss of millions of dollars to make their prices irresistible to the community, then threaten to blacklist any buyers or distributors who do business with their enemies. We're sorry, my former friends would all say. You know I would, but I have my own family to look after. If word gets out that I'm buying from you, I'll lose my contract with Monsanto. I can't afford to do that, especially with this drought, especially with the economy the way it is. I'm sorry. With mounting bills, swarming debt, and less money coming in, I made the horrible decision to take out a mortgage on the farm. That kept us afloat a little longer, but we're still having more and more trouble finding buyers for our crops. And with fewer buyers and mounting bills, I fell behind on my mortgage payments again and again until suddenly the bank was calling. Notices were showing up in the mail, and it seemed like I'd exhausted almost all my options. I felt so sick of big business treating me like a meaningless ant, sick of telling my children, no, we can't turn the heat up, or no, I can't give you money for a movie, and sick of feeling helpless or feeling like there was nothing I can do but sit there and expose myself to punch after punch in the gut.